Welcome to the February 13th edition of 2024 of the Conservation Commission meeting. I'd like to thank the conservation staff as well as the support staff of the town for hanging in there and enabling us to proceed this afternoon. And before I start the hearing for this afternoon's meeting, I'd like Angela to do a roll call to establish this afternoon's quorum.
Okay, Abedili,
Present.
Foster,
Present?
Hearn,
Present.
Sampu,
Present.
Tagney present. Have I forgotten anyone?
No. You might introduce the staff.
Yeah, the staff. Darcy?
Oh, I am present.
Darcy,
And-
Ed,
And Kim
I'm-
Cavan.
and
I am
Kim.
present, and Kim.
Present.
Okay, thank you.
Is that everybody?
Yes.
We have a
we
quorum.
have a quorum.
Thank you.
Acting under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and/or Chapter 237 of the Code of the Town of Barnstable, the Barnstable Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, February 13th, 2024 at 3:00 p.m. on the applications of TJA Clean Energy, Casey Sullivan, Edmund S. Jr. and Elizabeth Burns Dawes, and Charlie Cheever. The hearings will be held remotely as televised on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel. The plans and applications are on file and may be reviewed by scheduling an appointment by sending an email request to Darcy Carley at 230 South Street, Hyannis. This meeting is being recorded and transmitted on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, please make your presence known. I find no such notification. This afternoon's hearing agenda is posted on the town's website. On the agenda next to each application is the amount owed to the Town of Barnstable for the cost of advertising. Please send your check to the Conservation Division at 230 South Street before the hearing. The Conservation Commission's public hearing will be held by remote participation methods. Public access to this meeting shall be provided in the following manner. First, real-time viewing and public comment can be addressed to the Conservation Commission utilizing the Zoom link or telephone number and access code for the remote access below. You can join the Zoom meeting on Town of Barnstable us.us/J/88343311868. The meeting ID is 883-3430-1868. The U.S. toll-free number is 888-475-4499. Second, the meeting is being recorded and will be available for future hearing via Xfinity Channel 8 or 1070 or High Definition Channel 1072. Third, applicants, their representatives and individuals required or entitled to appear before the Conservation Commission may appear remotely and are not permitted to be physically present at the meetings and may participate through the link or telephone numbers provided above. Documentary exhibits and or visual presentation should be submitted in advance of the meeting to Darcy Carley at town.barnstable.ma.us. So they may be displayed for remote public access viewing. Public comment is also welcome by emailing Darcy at that same address. Comments should be submitted at least 8 hours prior to the hearing. Okay, under old and new business, we had originally posted Donna Lawson to present her report on the Long Pond Community Garden. That has been postponed to a later date. So let's get started. The first thing is a revised plan, TMT Realty Trust, SE 35843. Who do we have here representing the Realty Trust?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Tabitha Cagle from Wilkinson Ecological Design, representing the Realty Trust. May I share my screen?
Do you want to give us a?
Yep. Yes, you can. Madam Chair, can I just state that George is present now for,
Oh.
Yep. So Angela, I don't know whether they want to hand it over to him, but
Sure. Sorry about that. Power went out. Internet took a while to come back on, so here I am.
Hey, welcome, George.
Okay. Should I begin?
Yes, please.
This plan change request is the request to relocate an existing permitted pathway on the property, and also to remove some existing sort of boardwalk timbers that fell within the old pathway and replant that area. And if I can share my screen, I think it would be really easy to describe what I'm talking about. So I will go ahead and share.
thank you.
Can everybody see that?
Yes.
So I tried to keep it clear. There are two blue lines on this diagram. The first blue line represents an existing pathway that was on the property that was permitted to remain during the course of the original permitting. There are some sort of boardwalk, they're just half buried in the ground type of timbers that are here, which would be removed if this is approved. And also, one of the things I wanted to point out was that this pathway takes the property owners on to a little corner of the neighboring property. So they were hoping to be able to relocate the path exactly onto their own property. And that location is shown in this dashed blue line. And this gets them out to the beach. And it's actually a shorter amount of pathway than they would have had with this solid blue line here. And really it's trading like for like and replanting and discontinuing use of the existing pathway. And it's actually a very advantageous time to sort of create this new pathway. All that's proposed to happen is that it be mown. There's no surface boardwalk substrate of any sort proposed. And it does cut through the restoration area, as did the original pathway. But the restoration area is starting to become really established with native grasses. We've also planted lots of nice native shrubs in there, and this pathway could just simply go between those existing and newly planted shrubs. There would be no pruning or any other sort of alterations needed. And that's pretty much it. Does
Okay.
anybody?
Commissioners, do you have any comments or questions? I see none. Could I have a motion to approve the proposed revised plan?
So moved. Second.
Abadili,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gilmore, aye. Kern,
Aye.
Tangny,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good luck. All right, on to extension requests. The first one is MSSI 31 Dale Avenue Property Group, LLC. SE 35556. This is the second request. I believe Arlene Wilson is representing the applicant.
Afternoon, all. I've been having the same problem George has, with the internet sort of cutting in and out due to the snow. Hopefully it will last, right now. This is the property at 31 Dale Avenue. You may recall the request was to, take the historic building, elevate it so that it complies with flood regulations, do some maintenance and a couple of small modifications to the footprint. The property, or the project got underway, the building was raised on some cribbing, and then there were some legal issues that developed, that have caused the project to stall. The permits here run with the land, and so in order to make sure that, when the legal entanglements get straightened out, we can, actually go forward and make this property flood compliant, and save the historic building. We would like to have the extension to keep it open.
Okay,
I'd be happy to answer questions if anyone has them.
commissioners, questions, comments? John?
Obviously, we received a letter that I know Louise might refer to, questioning the existence, continued existence of this company or group, I guess, this LLC, and with an argument being made that in fact, since the company doesn't really exist anymore legally, do they have a right to request an extension? Arlene, may I ask, who do you represent here? Who are you the agent of?
Originally, we were the agent of, Mark Scott, the trustee of the LLC or proprietor of the LLC. We still are. As I said, the permits run with the land, not with the human being. Although there are liens on the property recorded at the registry, it has not changed the title as of this time. And even if the title were to change through a foreclosure or some other proceeding, the permit would still run with the land, not the human being or the company involved. So all of my position is that all of the information that was provided to the commission is interesting, but irrelevant to your proceedings.
Well, you are right, based on my knowledge, obviously, that anything we do runs with the land, not with the owner. If the property was sold to XYZ company, the permit is still in effect. Doesn't matter whether that's public, private, or whatever. So I think you're right. Your argument is very solid there. And you say that part of the work has been done, but the rest of it was stopped because of pending legal issues, and that once those are resolved, the work would continue as permitted. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Thank you. And one more question, or comment. I think it would be very important for all the commission to realize that whatever we do would not relieve the applicant from all of their other legal obligations. If they can't continue work for legal reasons, that's nothing to do with the commission granting an extension. Those are separate issues. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? I see no hands raised. So could I have a motion? Well, let me see. First of all, should this application be approved, let me just say that if the property is in lis pendens, which means actually a suit pending. It is subject to seizure, and therefore no work can be done on the property without permission of the U.S. Attorney's Office. So the applicant or the representative would have full responsibility and blame for doing any work on the property while it is the subject of the lis pendens. So just with that in mind, do I have a motion to approve the extension?
Do we do any public comment in such a case as this?
No,
No,
Then I'll make that motion.
Second? Will anyone second it?
second,
Good. Roll call.
Abadili,
aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gilmore, aye. Hearn,
Aye.
Tangny,
Aye.
Zampo.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thank you. The second extension request is Halls Creek Preservation Fund in Company, SE 35760, the first request. Arlene, I think you're go up.
Yep, I'm up again. Thank you very much. As you are all aware, the Halls Creek Preservation Group is trying desperately to get all its permits together to dredge the entrance to Halls Creek. When that happens, the spoil from the dredging project will be spread across the outside of the Squaw Island spit to reinforce it and repair it from the years of erosion that have gone on there. In the interim, there is a narrow area close to the upland that the group has been nourishing with imported compatible sand and sand fencing for the last couple of years. We've also had your permission to reclaim some of the sand that's overwashed into the salt marsh with the intent both of reducing the amount of imported sand that we need and making sure that the salt marsh doesn't get buried to the extent that it dies off. And so we are looking once again to for a continuance so that we can do this project in the winter if it's possible to do so. My understanding is that the sand fence was reinstalled this year and some reclamation was done, but the winter storms at the end of December and the beginning of January essentially washed the fencing out. The area is subject to Mass Natural Heritage rules for plovers, and so whatever work gets done here cannot continue after the 31st of March, nor before the middle of August. We would continue with those requirements.
Okay, commissioners, questions, comments, Bill?
Yeah, we talked about this project like about a year and a half ago. I remember Pete and I went out and took a look at it, and you remember probably well, Arlene, how we were pretty skeptical about this project. I'm not opposed to the extension, but I just sort of for the record, I think it seems like a futile effort at this time. And the fact that the fencing and whatnot that we were going along with and we were pretty skeptical about it, it washed out. And I suspect what you're proposing here again is going to get probably washed out. So, but that does not mean that I'm not, supportive of an extension, but good luck.
I appreciate that, Bill. It is shoveling sand against the tide, as they say.
Yeah, it is.
But if it doesn't get done, there'll be a new breach adjacent to the little parking area, and that probably won't do anybody any good.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, could I have a motion to approve the extension request?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Abdiel,
Aye.
Sampu,
Aye.
Tangny,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Hearn,
Aye.
Gilmore, aye, that's unanimous.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, the next extension request is TMT Realty Trust, SE 35843. This is the first request.
Good afternoon.
Thank
Sean
you.
Riley with Coastal Engineering, now a tie and bond company. Requesting our first extension. We're about 90%, 95% complete. We have some minor landscape changes. There was delays with the construction materials. So this has taken us a little bit longer. We apologize for the tardy application for the extension. Unfortunately, we thought this fell within the tolling period, so we thought we had until 2025, when in reality, this is expiring this month. So other than that, open up for any questions you may have.
Commissioners. I see no questions or hands. So could I have a motion to approve this extension request?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Sampu,
Aye.
Tangny,
Aye.
Hearn,
Aye.
Gilmore, aye, Foster,
Aye.
Abdiel,
Aye.
that's unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, on to warning letters. Ed, you have the floor.
I think we can call the first one for the agenda.
It's Dougal, McLaren, and Millis, Anahar, and Yavis, and Ure on a
Anatar. Anatar, it's 455 Huckins Neck Road in Centerville.
map 233, parcel 048, maintaining an unpermitted seasonal dock.
All right, it's pretty much what it says here. There's not much else to it. If you may remember, you have had seen a notice of intent for this property several years ago. You also have seen some enforcement activity on it. As far as the enforcement order from 2 years ago, they are in compliance with that. All of the restoration and mitigation areas with the original order of conditions is all been planned. This came to me as a result of the COC inspection for the order of condition, or for the previous order. You can see that there is just a small dock that is being used. It's the people who own the property have a mooring permit. We have been using it as a mooring, as a swim platform or float, and they've also been extending and attaching the float to the property, to the shoreline. So what they're basically asking, or what I've asked them to do, they don't have any interest at this point, at least from what they've told me so far. They don't have any desire to pursue a project for a full-blown seasonal dock. So they are going to comply with the warning letter, just asking them not to install the dock, that they may use the float as a mooring permit with the applicable mooring permit, which they are planning on doing. And I just need you to note this warning letter.
Okay, so this is going to be read into the record. Are you looking for anything else from us?
Nope, it's just if you have any questions, I can answer them. But again, it's just we're looking for you to note that the warning letter has been issued.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions, commissioners? I don't see any, so thank you very much. The second one is Edwin and Lisa Freitas, 176 Oak Neck Road, Hyannis, map 307, parcel 5, unpermitted stone patio within 50 feet of wetland resource area, isolated vegetated wetland.
And this one came to us, this was a very old property. The house would pre-exist the Wetlands Protection Act. Had basically one family owning the property until very, very recently, as of about a year ago. The property was sold. Prior to the sale of the property, the estate, the people who inherited the estate had gone ahead and put in a small stone patio area. That happened sometime in the summer of 2021, spring of 2022. The house was then sold about a year later to the current homeowners, who had no idea that this was not permitted or that there was any permitting issues. In fact, the reason I found this was the people had applied for a building permit for another project. So once I contacted the homeowner, he had discussed the violation thoroughly, and I think he understands everything, but at this time he does not want to pursue a notice of intent for to maintain or keep the patio. So he is going to be removing the stones, applying loam as needed, and then allowing the area to revegetate. And if he does want to continue with some sort of a new filing, he can do that, but he's not planning on trying to permit the existing structure at this time. So
Okay, so again, this is in the record. Are you looking at,
just to be noted.
okay. Any questions, comments, commissioners? Okay, thank you. And onward to the next one, Sandra L. Goldstein Davis, trustee, and Sandra L. Goldstein Davis Family Trust, 211 Scudder's Lane, Barnstable, map 259, parcel 008. Alteration of wetland resource area coastal beach by adding stones beyond what is permitted, expanding footprint of steps. Ed?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Again, the commissioners are all very familiar with this site. The particular site is the one that's immediately adjacent to the Scudder's Lane boat ramp. It's the one with the alternative bio designs for coastal bank stabilization. Over the last several months, six months or so, the homeowner had some other work that was being done. She was trying to, at the time, that I guess they were replacing, or they were recovering some of the coir logs that got washed away. And at the time, somebody, the contractor that was doing it, suggested they shore up the steps. And she said yes. She didn't realize she needed a permit to do that. Again, presented with her options as to pursuing a new notice of intent for this design work. She has chosen not to do that. So what I'm asking is that she just go back to the previously approved design, which you can see on the left. This was at the time of the COC inspection in 2021. This is what it looks like today. So she'll be removing all of the excess stones and the stonework here, going back to the four or five stones that are here as part of that original project. And with that, that's all I have.
Okay, again, so noted for the record. Any other things you'd like from us?
No, just to note it, that's all.
Okay, commissioners, comments? None? Okay, thanks. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Okay, so on to our first request for determination. TJA Clean Energy to confirm that the proposed project, a ground-mounted solar facility at 810 Wakeby Road, Marston's Mills, as shown on Assessor's Map 013 parcels 004, 005, and 052 does not fall within conservation jurisdiction under the Wetlands Protection Act or Chapter 237, DA 24007. Before we get started, I'd like to make some comments. We've received letters from a number of people objecting to this application. And I'd like to read the list of authors. Ann Salas, she sent us, I think, 4 letters. Nancy Minigrote, Anastasia Grunther, Christine McDonough and Cody Jones. And copies of all of these letters have been sent to the commissioners and also filed with all the materials related to this hearing. We hear your voices and your concerns. However, we need to be very clear that the only question we can address legally is this area where this work is being proposed a wetland? And that's it. That's all we can legally do. So although you may have these issues and they may well be valid, this is not under our umbrella. We are limited to the question of, is this a wetland? So I hope you understand that, because that's all we can do, and we are focused on that today. So to proceed with this, let's move on. Who is representing TJA Clean Energy? Is anyone here for that? After that long introduction? Well, all right, let's table it for now and move on to the next RDA. Casey Sullivan, proposed construction of an 8x12 addition and an 8x22 raised deck to the rear of the garage at 38 Crosby Circle, Osterville, as shown on Assessor's Map 116, parcel 021, DA 24008. Who do we have to represent Ms. Sullivan? No one? Well, let's move on to notices of intent.
Yeah, Scott Peacock, I am here. I was trying to
Oh.
unmute myself.
Okay, great.
Casey Sullivan.
Welcome.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, I thought the person said that he would unmute me. I having trouble with the computer, so I'm on my phone. But
Okay.
yes, I'm here to represent Casey.
These are our simpler applications, so do you want to describe your plans, or shall we just
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah, so she just purchased a house this past year, and basically has 3 kids, and it's a 2-bedroom house with a 3-bedroom septic. So she's basically adding to bedroom number 3, just to I think they're going to make that into a bunk room for the kids. Just needed a little bit more room. And we also have a wooden deck as well. I think it's all in. I guess it's all in the 100-year flood.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is there a plan we could look at, Louise?
Oh, yes. Could we see your plan? Scott,
My plan?
the plan.
I submitted it. Yeah, see, I have no way of doing it because having trouble. I think we lost our internet with all the wind. I did submit it. I know Darcy had it.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Darcy did?
I can bring it up. I was just talking to the prior applicant for
Okay.
TJA. So hang on one second.
Okay.
Louise, just so you know, they are gonna be signing back on. They were present and they were on the phone, but they couldn't get it unmuted. So, all right,
Yeah, I
let
had
me
the
bring
same
up this
problem.
plan.
Darcy's doing that. Let me just make a couple of comments. I was there on Saturday and it was not staked. And
Oh,
the-
you're kidding.
yeah, and you
You
know,
know what? I know the landscapers were there doing a cleanup. I guarantee you they pulled them.
okay, well, just
Sorry about that.
If we
bringing
could
on-
get the plan, it would really help me.
yeah, well, Darcy's working on.
I'm working on it. Just a second.
So
Other
I
thing
don't know
I,
if you remember. I don't know if you remember seeing the garage was on the right-hand side of the
oh
building.
yeah, I mean, I
So-
figured it out, but it took me longer.
Yeah.
to have.
Okay.
The
Sorry
thing
about that.
There's a shed, a new shed that is on that property and I don't see it in your drawing.
And
So-
I didn't even know until I went to stake the property that the shed was there.
Wow.
I don't think, yeah, I know it. I don't think she really understands, you know what I mean? She just tried, I didn't even know she was doing that, to be honest. It was the first that I noticed it was about 3 weeks ago.
Well, it's a big shed, so you can't miss it.
Is it
it's
I
within
know
our
it.
jurisdiction,
covered by-
Louise?
Beg your pardon?
Yeah,
it within
I
our
think it
jurisdiction?
is. It's actually very close to the addition.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, I'm
flood, it's
sure
flood
should-
zone, it's flood zone only? That
Yes.
section? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we,
And
you
I
know-
know she could move it out of that area. She didn't even, obviously she just bought a shed and had them put it there. And she had no idea. She doesn't even know what I'm going through trying to get the
Wanna
permit.
show, Darcy, just for John's benefit and anybody who didn't make it there, where that shed is. It's at the lower right-hand corner of the property.
of the addition, yep.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
this
it's
here.
just to the right of the addition.
Yep. We could deal with the shed in a flood zone. We could probably do that under administrative review. So,
Okay.
I can work that out with Scott.
Darcy, so
Perfect.
we could approve this, but with a condition that the revised plan be submitted for
Yeah.
staff review.
Yeah.
For the
Thank you,
shed.
guys.
Okay.
Okay, so any other questions and comments, commissioners? Any public comment? Okay, do I have a motion to approve this project as a negative determination with the addition of a submission of a revised plan, which
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I muted Louise.
I hear you, Darcy.
Yeah.
Louise, you have to unmute her. Somebody is.
I
I'm
just,
Here we go.
okay,
I'm sorry. What I want, I wanted to say something and I hit mute by accident. Let's just, I'm
so,
just trying to think, as far as revising the plan for the certificate of compliance, or for an RDA, we're not supposed to be doing that.
right,
So can we just approve this strictly for the new deck and the addition, and I will talk to Scott about how to deal with the shed later, because we don't want to
That
have
would be
to,
great.
yeah, I can't
Makes sense.
accept a revised plan under this RDA.
okay.
That
And I
would be great.
apologize for
I'll make-
muting you.
I was muted. Did anybody hear me ask the public for comments?
Yeah, I heard that. You did.
Okay, all right, so we can ask for a motion to approve this project as a negative determination.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Okay, roll call.
Abadili,
Aye.
Foster, I'm
Aye.
sorry. Yes, Gilmore, aye. Hearn,
Aye.
Tangney,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Okay, thank you. So shall we proceed?
Pete, sorry.
Your pardon? Someone say
No,
something?
sorry.
Okay, should we proceed with the NOIs or go back to?
Let's go back,
Pete.
see if we can get Brendan back on.
Brandon's here.
All right, thank you, guys. I'm all set.
hear me?
Okay, now.
Thank you, Scott.
Read it into the record again, I think.
All right, so, reading into the record again, TJA Clean Energy to confirm that the proposed project at ground-mounted solar facility at 810 Wakeby Road, Marston's Mills, as shown in Assessor's Map 013, parcel 004, 005, and 052, does not fall within conservation jurisdiction under the Wetland Protection Act or Chapter 237, DA 24007. And as I said, we are limited to what is our jurisdiction, and that is determining whether or not the property falls within our jurisdiction under the Wetland Protection Act, and we are limited to that. So, welcome to the representatives of TJA Energy.
Yeah, hi. This is Brendan Reale with Atlantic Sign Engineers. Can everybody hear me?
Yep, we can.
Perfect. Thank you. Like I mentioned, I'm representing the applicant TJ Clean Energy for the submitted request for determination of applicability to confirm the proposed large-scale ground-mounted photovoltaic solar project does not fall within conservation jurisdiction. The proposed solar project encompasses approximately 10.6 acres of the 3 lots which comprise the 810 Wakeby Road site. The site is primarily cleared due to its historical use as a sand and gravel quarry. And as confirmed by professional wetland scientist Brad Holmes of Environmental Consulting and Restoration LLC during his January 17th, 2024 site walk, the site does not contain wetland resource areas or buffer zones. The closest wetland, as identified by Mass GIS, is located over 100 feet northeast of the site. And this was confirmed during ECR's site walk. Additionally, the site is not located within the estimated or priority habitat of rare species according to NHESP. It does not contain a certified vernal pool. The site does not contain USGS mapped stream. It is not located within an area mapped as land subject to flooding, and is not located within an area of critical environmental concern. Furthermore, this solar project obtained a negative determination of applicability from Barnstable Conservation in November of 2019. And due to a COVID-19 pandemic extension, this is set to expire in March of this year. In addition to the negative determination, the project has also obtained approval for site plan review and special permit from the town. So essentially, we are just coming back for an RDA since the original is about to expire. That's it.
Okay, so commissioners, questions or comments? I see none. Are there any public comments? Oh, wait, Pete.
Okay, well, I completely agree this is not within our jurisdiction. Perhaps it might ease some of the concerns we heard if the applicant can confirm that you have an SPCC compliant secondary containment system for the transformers that you're using there.
Yes, that is a requirement, a condition of the special permit.
That's certainly what I expected as your answer. And so this commissioner has absolutely no worry about groundwater contamination, given that you have that secondary containment system up there with the plans, which I think is required by EPA now. So thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, any other commissioners? All right. Are there any comments or questions from the public?
Yes, I have a comment.
Okay, let me just just remind everybody that we are limited to our jurisdiction, which is a wetland.
And if we could get everybody to state their name and address before speaking, that would be very helpful.
Yes, thank you, Kim.
Right. My name is Ann Salas. I live on Mockingbird Lane in Marston's Mills. I'm an abutter. I'd like to ask the commission, with all respect, to delay their finding so that the abutting residents can schedule an environmental consultant to offer a third-party evaluation of the distance of the wetland to the project site. A third party would be prudent considering the effects of the project on our homes at 140 feet distance. It will have a devastating effect on our health, safety, welfare, and property values. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Any other comments from the public?
Yes, I wonder if I could speak.
Okay, name and address, please.
My name is Cody Jones. I'm a resident of 111 Mockingbird Lane here in Marston's Mills. I would like to point out that there has historically been standing water and wetland vegetative growth within the pit, and that has been since been buried by recent dredge spoils that were deposited on site. So it doesn't take a whole lot of digging to look down and see what was once there. Thank you.
Thank you, Cody. Any other comments from the public? All right. Any other discussion from the commissioners? All right. Could I have a motion to approve this project as a negative determination?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Abadili,
Aye.
Sampu,
Aye.
Tangy,
Aye.
Hearn,
Aye.
Gilmore, aye, Foster.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
All right, so to the second notice of intent. Charles Cheever to construct a storage bay and modify an existing deck at 295 Green Dunes Drive, Centerville, as shown on Assessor's Map 245, parcel 029. John O'Day, I think.
Did we do
No,
the
this one's me, I believe, right?
No, I
Maybe
think
switched
we
up
did
the
first
order.
one.
Yeah, did we skip one? I'm sorry.
I think we skipped one.
Yeah.
We didn't do
I'm
the first
sorry.
one.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Do you want to go?
Dawes,
But yeah, you can go back to John's, that's fine.
Okay. Sorry about that. So we're doing Cheever, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, we did. I don't think we did the first one, Dawes.
Right, so we're going back, let's see, I thought we decided to go, all right, Dawes, Edward S. Jr. and Elizabeth Byrne Dawes. Proposed construction of a retaining wall at 68 Stanley Way and 465 Payne Street, Centerville, as shown on Assessor's Map 228, parcel 111001. And Assessor's Map 228, parcel 113-008, SE 36156. Okay. So Matt.
No, John. Good afternoon, John O'Day from Southland Engineering, representing the applicants who are also in the meeting room with us. I'll pull up a plan for you to walk you through. Second. All right, I just gotta get the. Here we go. So as described, this project site is 68 Stanley Way and 465 Pine Street in Centerville. The applicants actually owns 3 parcels of land here, but it's just developed with one single family dwelling, a little over an acre of land, developed in around 1960. The portion of the property is within the buffer zones to an intermittent stream bank that is located basically just off site. In the southeast corner of the lot, there's an existing timber landscape retaining wall that is in need of repair. And I will slide over. And so the project as proposed is to replace that. We have a little bit of a detailed plan view here. So again, this is the existing wall right here. And we're proposing to replace that with a segmental block wall. We are pulling it landward where we can. We are going to tier this into two sections. The work is just sort of barely within that 100-foot buffer to the intermittent stream bank. We obviously have an undisturbed 50-foot buffer, called for a limit of work. Contractor provided a pretty good protocol. We're calling for the disturbed areas to be restored, especially below the wall would just be a native grass seed that would be allowed to grow naturally, and grass or ornamental plants above those walls. We do have drainage specified. I think it's a pretty minor project, but we're here to answer any questions that the commission may have.
Okay, commissioners, questions or comments? I have a couple. You're going to move the wall back, right?
Yes.
So, it looked to me as if the existing wall was holding a lot up where it was. So if you're going to move it back, what's going to happen in the area between the original wall and the new wall?
So I think that grade will be allowed to be lowered down to what the grade is below it. And I know that wall has been sort of starting to fail even over the last couple of years since we were introduced to the site. So part of that may be falling out as it is, but basically that grade at the bottom of the wall will fall generally where the existing bottom wall is, and just be a little bit of a smoother slope below it, if anything.
You don't think it's just going to fall down to the area far below? I mean, it's pretty steep there.
No, I don't think so. I think that the contractor's protocol of kind of coming in here and being able to remove that, I think, and having a limit of work, I think it's a long way for anything to travel towards the wetland or even the 50-foot buffer.
Well, I'm not worried about the whole thing coming down, but I think that the area between the old wall and the new wall is kind of in limbo there without any support. I don't know if you thought about that or worried about that, or maybe I shouldn't worry about it. I don't know.
I think that will be, as that wall, the existing wall, is removed, that any material that was behind it would be excavated out. We have a section up here. So if in the section, if the existing wall is here, yes, there may be some skid steers of material to get removed to cut that embankment back to here.
Okay, so you're going to remove it.
We're going to remove it.
Okay, you're not going to just leave it there to fall down. Okay.
No.
The other thing is, I noticed a couple of in-ground sprinkler heads. I presume that with all the work you're doing there, those are going to get removed. Given you, it seems you have some remediation on drainage, it would seem you wouldn't want sprinkler heads there, but
I don't think that we have any concern about replacing the sprinkler heads, nor do I think that that would be a concern to the
Okay.
wetlands. I think the drainage is, um, I think it's almost a formality of these systems in our kind of soil conditions. You know, we don't, even without the drain, I don't envision there being an issue with water behind that wall, given our sandy soil conditions. But I'm also not going to argue with the manufacturer's recommendations on how these should be installed. But to the extent that there's irrigation there today, I would assume that it would be restored as along with the landscape.
Can I interject?
I'm a homeowner.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, this is Ned Dawes, owner of 68 Stanley Way in Centerville. As far as the sprinklers go, you're correct. There is an irrigation system on that side of the house. And we are not planning to restore it in that area. So as part of the excavation required to install the new retaining wall, whatever of the existing system gets ripped up, whatever, we're not planning to restore it in that area.
Okay. All right, and then there's a big black pipe right now that is coming out the side of the slope. That's going to go because you're putting in other.
Correct. So that's actually a downspout diverter. So from the southeast corner of the house, there's a downspout that comes from there, goes underground, and then it punched out through the wall, existing wall. So that would then get connected back up into the drainage that would be located behind the existing, or excuse me, the proposed wall. If John, if you could scroll up to the detail of the cross section of the wall, thank you. So there's a drainage pipe behind that, so it would get connected to that, and then it would go to either end of the wall. So there's not a lot of water that is caught in that downspout, but that's what that pipe is associated with.
Okay, all right, that sounds like a good plan. So any other, let's see, Bill?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at the project, but I'm not muted. I didn't get a chance to look at the project, but I think the project seems, it seems like a common sense, good project. You're removing an old, somewhat decrepit wall. You're putting in a new wall landward, further away from the wetland. And then, as I understand it, you're planting and naturalizing the area, you know, immediately down below the new wall, headed towards the wetland. So it seems like a very common sense, good project to me.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Channel 18, do we have any comments from the public?
Seeing none.
Thank you. Okay. So could I have a motion to approve this project?
Don't move.
Second.
Roll call?
Abadili.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gilmore, aye. Hearn.
Aye.
Hangy.
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, commissioners.
Good luck
Thank
with
you.
the project. Okay, the last NOI is Charles Cheever to construct a storage bay and modify an existing deck at 295 Green Dunes Drive, Centerville, as shown on Assessor's Map 245, parcel 029. And I just point out that we're missing the SE number, and so regardless of how we vote, we're going to have a continuance until we can get that from DEP.
I see Matt with his hand up, but he has a DEP number.
Yes, we do. It came in about an hour ago. So yeah, Kim, Kim, you're copied on that, so you should have that. I can give you that number right now if you would like me to.
Yes, please.
It is SE3-6158.
Okay, thank you.
Just in the nick of time.
Right, okay, Matt.
So good afternoon, everyone. For the record, my name is Matthew Eddy, professional engineer with Baxter and I Engineering and Surveying, representing Charles Cheever as the applicant for this project. If I could I share my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Just wanted to get the okay before doing that. So the project, I believe, is a fairly minimal project that's proposed. What is going on here is some removal. There's an existing patio, which you see shaded with this little plus hatching pattern, existing patio at grade on the ground level, which resides in this area here. And then also under here, you have the deck area, which is the deck is up above at the first level. This is a walkout area under this patio here and here. We are proposing to remove all of that patio at the ground level, not replacing any patio. That'll just be stabilized. Then the deck, there's an existing deck above this existing patio. This is up at the second level. That deck area is going to be removed also. And then all that is being proposed is a new deck infill that'll be at the above ground level. That's at the first level, tying into this existing deck. And so this darker shaded area that you see is new proposed deck. And with that, that's actually it's a reduction of, actually, I got it in my notes, but it'll be quicker for me to look at the plan. It's a reduction of about 110 square feet of hardscape in the 0 to 50-foot buffer. You can see we're removing about 165 square feet. And that's at grade. That's the patio at grade. And then there's a 55 square foot of addition deck above at the first level. So that's a net reduction of 110 square feet. And then the only other portion, excuse me, of this project is a storage shed addition to the far end of the house. This actually falls outside of the 100-foot buffer. This is the 100-foot buffer line here, but it still does fall within your jurisdiction as the house and the lot fronts on Hall Creek. So we have riverfront area. So this is the outer limit of the 200-foot riverfront area. So this falls in the outer riparian zone in between the 100 and the 200 foot riparian. There is a small shed here that you see in that lighter line here that's being removed. And then this proposed 10.3 by 14.7 shed is being added. That's the extent of the project. With the reduction of hardscape in the 0 to 50, there is no mitigation proposed for this project. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Commissioners? No one? Somebody, I think, has their TV on. I guess not. Okay. Channel 18, is there anything coming from the public?
Seeing none.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve this project?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Abadili,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Elmore, aye. Hearn,
Aye.
Agni,
Aye.
Lampu.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Okay. So
Thank you very much, all.
thank you, Matt. So we have two certificates of compliance. Both of them are EZs. Susan Lissy, SE 35141, and Brian Don Marie Zado, SE 35808. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Abadili,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gilmore, aye. Hearn,
Aye.
Agni,
Aye.
Lampu.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Great, thank you. Our next hearing is at 6:30 on February 20th, 2024. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So
So-
moved. Second.
Madam Chairwoman, I think I indicated to the clerk that I will not be available for that meeting, so due to prior conflict.
Right, we'll miss you.
Yeah, not much.
Okay. May I did have a motion to adjourn in a second, so may I have a roll call, please?
Abadili,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gilmore, aye, Hearn,
Aye.
Agni,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 4:06, Madam Chairman.